Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here in June. A very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, no touching. I don't do the touching. Are you feeling charitable? Then smash the subscribe button and the like button. And please do follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad. Ray Fisher has responded to WB Pictures' claims yesterday after he said that he had a conversation with Walter Hamada, who Ray claimed tried to throw Joss Whedon and John Berg under the bus, and so he wouldn't keep on mentioning Jeff Johns, right? Ray also said that he would keep on mentioning Jeff Johns, right? Are we updated with this insane soap opera? Well, Ray Fisher is back, and he's back on basically with his fists up. This is what he had to say, and there's a video to this as well, which we'll play afterwards. Thank you all for the support and for seeing through WB Pictures' desperate scattershot attempt to discredit me, to continue protecting those in power. It's the way he frames it. He's very, very clever, because this is how you get the fans on your side, right, and keep them on your side. Warner Brothers is this kind of this big, powerful giant that's trying to crush this little unknown actor. Very clever. I met with the investigator via Zoom on August the 26th. Below is an email sent to my team and at SAG-AFTRA immediately after. Right. This is the email to his crew. Hi crew, just got off the line with the investigator. Had to end the interview early before going into detail with him. He's definitely been put on the case by Warner Brothers Pictures, not Warner Media. Now, this is trying to further and forward the conspiracy theory that many, many fans have, that Warner Brothers and Warner Media are having a power struggle. But let's be absolutely clear here. Warner Media is the newly formed company. It is everything. AT&T formed this. They formed this on purpose so Warner Brothers Pictures wouldn't be in control anymore. Basically, what used to happen in the old regime was this, that Time Warner was the boss, but basically they let Warner Brothers Pictures do what they want. That's not the case with Warner Media, seeing they're the ones who sanctioned the release of the Snyder Cut. So let's just repeat that. So just got off the line with the investigator, had to end the interview early before going into detail with him. So basically, they started the interview, but Ray hasn't given any information about anything. He's ended the call, right? Here's his reasons. He's definitely been put on the case by Warner Brothers Pictures, not Warner Media. His findings will go directly and solely to Warner Brothers Pictures legal. Right? Let me explain something to you, Ray. They might be going to Warner Brothers Legal. Don't you think Warner Media, the whole company, will want to know, won't be knocking on Warner Brothers Pictures' door? Come on. There's no secrets here, right? Anyway, he also had another person on the line as a witness, which we weren't made aware of. I told him I needed to have a rep on the line as security for myself. First of all, Ray, you should have got yourself a rep anyway, because that's what happens. Everyone has a rep when these investigations are going on. And shall I tell you why he had a witness? That's to protect him and yourself. So what they were doing with having a witness there was a good thing for both parties. So he also had another person on the line as a witness, which we weren't made aware of. I told him I needed to have a rep on the line as security for myself. It's standard practice, Ray, for you to have a rep and for him to have a witness to protect both of you, right? He tried to keep me on the line. Bloody hell, Ray. These aren't gangsters, mate. But I told him I would need to consult my team before proceeding. Can we jump on a call, discuss soon? Right. So this was August the 26th, right? So that was 27, 28, 29, first. That's nearly 10 days ago. So basically, they haven't reconvened this interview in over 10 days or in about 10 days, right? That, what's so difficult? You get your guy. He's got his witness. This should have been done already. So, Ray, the question is to you, my friend, with all due respect, why hasn't this been reconvened? his explanation here is very, very dubious. It's like he's trying to creep away from a corner he's been put in. Anyway, that's the email. Anyway, his tweet continues. Hang on, I lost it. It's also worth noting that I made it clear to the world on August the 27th that I would be vetting the investigator to ensure a fair and protective process for all witnesses. WB Pictures has escalated this to an entirely different level, but I'm ready to meet the challenge. Accountability over entertainment. In a minute, I'm going to play you a video he did as well. Listen, he wants to vet the investigator. Come on, Ray. Come on, Ray, my friend. This isn't the mafia. This, we're not investigating who shot John F. Kennedy, right? This is about something that happened on the set, right? You wanted an investigator. Then you then wanted an independent investigator. An independent investigator is an independent investigator. It's to everyone's advantage that this is done cleanly and thoroughly. Ray, what are you playing at? Right. Next, we are going to listen to his video. Right, this is what Ray had to say in a video. I'm not going to show you the video. We're just going to play the audio.
Obviously, I put out yesterday that there's going to be a third-party independent investigation. But even with those things, you do need to make sure that the folks that you're dealing with are on the level, because at the end of the day, those people are being paid by somebody, and finding out who's paying them and how all that stuff is being sorted out is extremely important. So you've got to do your due diligence, you've got to fact check, and you can't just take those things on face value. So I appreciate the support. Just know your boy is going to keep trying to fight the good fight. And as I've said in the past, if this is the only thing I'm blessed to do, if this impacts my career negatively in any way, you know what? I'm glad that I was able to stand up for what I believe in. Obviously, I put out yesterday that there's...
Right. Okay, this seems to be... Yeah, this is a video he did on August the 21st. This is not a new video he did, but he's just clarifying what he said he was going to do in the first place. Here's the problem with all of this, Ray. And this is just my opinion. As I said today on the DC Multiverse Daily, I'm speaking my truth and the way I see this now. First of all, can I just say, having this power struggle between an actor and a movie studio publicly is the most pathetic, embarrassing thing I've ever seen. I stan Warner Brothers. I've been standing Warner Brothers since I was a young boy, right? I don't want to see them embarrassed. I don't want to see the actor who plays Cyborg in a war publicly. Now, Ray has made this public because he wants all of us to back him against this big conglomerate, right? So, and this is where we are. But this shouldn't be public. This is nothing to do with us. This should be happening. Now, so we can reiterate what's happened here. This is his explanation for actually not giving any evidence whatsoever to this investigator. He got on a Zoom meeting, right? The guy spoke to him. He then discovered the guy had a witness with him, right? As I've said before, this is common. This is common within any kind of situation, in an interview situation. If I'm interviewed by the police, there's someone sitting. There's two people, right? You don't say to the policeman, "Oh, can I vet you, please, because I don't know who you are." That's not how it works here. Warner Media, right, got an independent investigator. Now he's claiming that it's all to do with Warner Brothers and nothing to do with Warner Media. But in fact, if we go back to the quote from the statement from Warner Brothers yesterday, in fact, they said that Warner Media went and got an independent investigator. So, in fact, there's clarification here that someone's not telling the truth, right? As I say, this is so pathetic and so embarrassing now, and it's getting worse and worse. Of course, I expected him to respond. I was waiting for him to respond. So, basically, he gets what he wants, an independent investigator. He then discovers, right, that there's a witness there. He doesn't like the fact that there's a witness, despite the fact that the witness is there for him and the investigator. Now, what he's saying is he doesn't know the investigator from Adam. This I believe he genuinely is this paranoid. I really do believe he's genuinely this paranoid. I think he feels that he's investigating some massive plot. At the end of the day, this whole statement doesn't actually tackle a lot of stuff. He kind of puts it in a nice bunch and says, yeah, well, we noticed that WB, thank you for your support after WB tried to discredit me, but you're not answering certain things. Did you make the complaint because your script changes weren't made? Now, again, I know you were upset about what was done to Zach by Jeff Johns. I get that. And I know you were trying to keep the film for Zach's vision. And I thank you for that, right? But again, you're not answering. Why was the investigator brought in? You originally said the investigator was brought in to investigate Joss Whedon, John Berg, and Jeff Johns. Now, Warner Brothers said this is not how it is. They're actually investigating his claims that his script changes weren't adhered to, right? Now, if that's the truth, it's ridiculous that they've actually brought this investigator in, but they have to. This is what they have to do. They have to follow the rules. They have to make sure all the I's and dots are crossed because he's making big public statements. Now, you know my opinion about him exposing his private conversation, alleged private conversation with Walter Hamada, right? And, by the way, Warner Brothers said they were false claims against Walter Hamada. Has Ray answered that? No. Basically, Ray has answered very little. He said that they tried to discredit him. But why doesn't he say, right, they said this. This is not true. They said that. This is not true. Why isn't he answering these questions? Here is the problem. And so he's responded now. I don't know if Warner Brothers Pictures will respond or Warner Media will respond. I would think they won't because it's a he said, she said situation. But this is a very dubious response. And I know many of you who support Zach, who support MOS and BVS and Ray will be very angry about my opinion. But you've got to understand, I'm looking at it from a logical point of view. Warner Brothers made certain points about what all this investigation is about, and Ray has not covered these. So what do I think? Is this the great response? Does this put Warner Brothers in trouble? No, because I think Warner Brothers' response was very thorough, and it covered everything. And the stuff that the Warner Brothers statement covered hasn't been recovered by Ray himself. He hasn't answered what Warner Brothers said in their statement. And that's a big issue for me. That for me says that Ray has a lot of questions to answer about this. What's next? Well, look, the investigation is ongoing clearly. He's going to investigate the investigator and his witness. Absolutely ridiculous. So when he's absolutely vetted him, then they can talk. But it's pretty clear from what Warner Brothers are saying that this is not about any conduct, from Joss Whedon, Jeff Johns or John Berg. It's about him, his script suggestions not being adhered to. Just look, as I say, somebody's lying. Somebody's not being completely honest. Now, at the end of the day, Warner Brothers has said one thing, Ray said another thing, but I did expect a response, but I expected him to cover the accusations that Warner Brothers put at his door, right? And he hasn't answered that. So for me, I am at this moment in time thinking, well, actually, Warner Brothers maybe Warner Brothers are being more honest than Ray here. And until Ray covers everything that they said, that's a problem to me. And the fact that he wanted to, vet the investigator and the witness. Nah, I'm sorry, Ray, I don't get it. What are you going to do? Because what happens next? Are you going to ask for another investigator and another witness? And I mean, why didn't you know that there would be a witness? It's obvious, right? Even I could have told you that, right? Why were you shocked? And why didn't you have someone representing you? It doesn't make sense, Ray. So again, there's more holes in his response than Delilah's bucket. So at this moment in time, I think this is a very dubious response. He's tried to creep out the corner that WP Pictures put him in. Listen, this is my opinion. I am excited for what Walter Hamada and Jim Lee are doing with the DC Multiverse strategy. We're going to get some great films. I don't know if Ray Fisher will be a part of that or not. I think he probably will, because they can't publicly get rid of him now, right? Because that would admit that they are everything that he's accusing them of. So I think he's going to keep his role, right? And apparently he's negotiating his role right now. I don't know what's going to happen. But when people make things this public, it's to prove a point to the people they're going up against. Always remember that. So he wants the public, us, on his side, to show Warner Brothers how powerful he is, right? And how he can cause them problems. So is Ray Fisher what is Ray Fisher after? We've got the Snyder Cut. Ben Affleck and the rest of the Justice League, maybe including him, will be in the Flashpoint movie. So everything's been set right. Zack's back. So what exactly does he want? Justice? You've got justice, Ray. Look, everyone's back. It's all back, mate. So what actual justice are you after? As I said on today's DC Multiverse Daily, I'm absolutely confused and befuddled what he's after here, right? Unless it is Jeff Johns totally been run out of Warner Brothers, which is not going to happen. I think one thing we can tell from Warner Brothers Pictures' response yesterday, the lady isn't for turning. They will not get rid of Jeff Johns under any circumstances. It's as simple as that. So we'll see. So basically, I assume this investigation will eventually happen and conclude, and we'll find out their findings. But basically, I think when he talks about he's not going to give up and he's going to keep on going, he's going to keep on naming names, he's going to keep on making posts, and I think Warner Brothers are just going to have to learn to live with it and just kind of say, oh, well, it's just Ray. I think that's going to happen here. But it's my responsibility to bring this to you, bring you my opinion, and you can do what you want with it. That's my opinion. I'm just not accepting what he said, because I think the fact that he cancelled the Zoom meeting with the investigator because there was a witness there for his protection and the investigators is very dubious, very, very paranoid, and it just delays matters. But for me, I'm excited for the DC multiverse strategy and the films. I'm happy to talk about that. I'm happy. I'm happy with Warner Media and AT&T and the way they're running this. And if there is a problem at Warner Brothers Pictures, I can assure you they will deal with it. Comment down below, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll be back tomorrow with the DC Multiverse Daily. See you again soon.